welcome back to another Plasticon review. Today we're going to cover Deformation Iron Commander. Oh, come on. It's just an oversized knockoff of Optimus Prime. This is an oversized knockoff version, basically, of Earthrise Optimus Prime. It's actually pretty gnarly. I like this thing. This thing is enormous and it's huge, and it's kind of like a masterpiece, and I really like it because of that. It comes with these interesting pieces here. This is a gigantic shield. You can see it's just kind of bolted onto the side. Same thing over here, like an Energon axe. And then his gun can actually mount here on the back as well. It's pretty cool. I do like this thing a whole lot. This thing is pretty gnarly. I like when these knockoff companies make just an interesting take on a toy that's already existed out there. I find it really interesting whenever they can actually oversize it and make it work very well. The shields come off, and it's kind of a close-up of what the shield looks like. It's got a nice metallic paint on there. It looks really nice. I do like the translucent plastic. It's pretty durable plastic too. I wouldn't see it actually snapping and breaking. It's cool that it almost like has a bit of a sword kind of end here, so you can make it so that way if you want to. You can just kind of punch somebody with that, which is cool. I'm going to set that off to the side. And take a look at this huge Energon axe he has. This axe plugs in right here, and what's crazy is the thing actually has all the ports that the original toy had too. So you can kind of plug these in everywhere like that as well. It's got a lot of chromy goodness here, and this translucent plastic's very translucent, which is nice. And it's got a lot of paint detail just on the one side down here, down on the hilt, but that's okay because you can see this getting all kind of scratched off here. I do appreciate the fact that they did paint one side and the other, so that way you can actually use this. It's nice because hacking Decepticons is what he does. So it's very, I don't know, extreme, G2-ish, as I like to say. And then he's got his nice cannon here on the back, which cannon does fold up, just like the original one does. And you can store it back here as well if you want to, like this, or if you want to, you could do this and give him this a huge, I don't know, booster stack here. Funny thing is, he has two handholds. This one here, plug it in sideways like that if you want. It's kind of cool. And he does happen to have another hole here in the very back, so you can plug this thing in here as well if you want. It's kind of difficult to do. You can do it. I've done it before. A little bit, but it's primarily for this post. This is not capable of doing that way. I mean, you can set it in here like this if you want, or it's your toy. Do whatever the heck you want to with it if you do happen to acquire one of these. But yeah, it's very nice looking cannon. Like I said, it folds out. It doesn't have a light up gimmick, which would have been cool if it had like a little light on the inside, and this could easily be modified to actually put a light in it, I could see. But it's got paint on both sides. I do appreciate the fact that they painted both sides of the cannon. It looks really nice. It's a very Optimus Prime gun, and I do like it a lot. And the plastic quality isn't that real shoddy type of plastic quality you normally get for knockoffs, because sometimes you get knockoffs and the plastic feels like it's glass or it feels like it's shampoo bottle. Not in this case. Take a look at that. Prime himself. He's got a lot of detail here pricked out. I do know that he didn't, the silver here probably should have gotten picked out here, which, to be honest, whenever I got hold of this, I noticed it didn't have the side windows painted, so I decided to at least add a little bit of paint here for the side windows, which kind of really makes it better. I did add this huge Autobot logo on here too. So if you do find these in the aftermarket, this is usually not painted. This usually doesn't have an Autobot logo. I happen to have some transparent ones, so I was like, that looks perfect on there. But it does. It actually fit really, really well. This is actually from Repro Labels. Repro Labels does do some awesome stickers. So. But yeah, he's got a nice translucent windows here in the front, which is, it's obviously closed everything off in there. And for the back, he doesn't really have any taillight detail. I probably could go back and add some taillight detail if I wanted to it, but I just didn't do that. He's very shiny, and I do like that about him as well. And it doesn't have any robot kibble on the bottom either. This is a very, very decent toy. I do know the original is supposed to have like flip out fuel tanks, but to be honest, that really didn't do much of anything anyway. I don't mind those being molded and painted like that. That look nice. It's pretty cool. But let's get into the transformation of this guy, which is going to take quite some time. So I have to bear with me. So I just flip these pieces here out. And this piece here. And this piece here. You pretty much open up the entire side of the truck. It's kind of cool. I do like the amount of detail it has because it actually has a lot of molded detail even on the inside of all these panels as well. It's kind of nice. It wasn't really necessary, but it's there. And flip this arm piece here out, just like that. I tend to try to just get the arms completely out of the way like this. And it being a knockoff, you just have to keep in mind that when you're transforming some of these, you just kind of have to be careful with stuff. You don't manhandle everything. This part here, I actually flip down out of the way. If I can get it to do that. This part here is about the most trickiest part of the entire transformation. Is this waist piece here. Actually, no, that doesn't flip down, that flips up. Okay, I'm a derp. Give me a break. I haven't transformed this a whole lot, so. Because I actually like the robot mode a lot. I'm going to flip these down. And then these two pieces here, I'll actually clunk into place really nice and firm. Kind of just fills in that part. And then this whole piece here, I'll actually lift up, just like that. And you'll fold in all these bits, just like that. And you'll fold that up just like that. And this whole piece here will rock up and allow you to see him being huge like this is kind of I actually kind of like the idea that it's just enormous. Flip this piece here down, or you can flip the head out of the way, which you can push it through. As you do that, you can kind of fold the chest up, and then this will click into place. And spin the whole body around. And take this part here, this will flip up like this. Close this in, close this in, close this part here up on the back, and straighten his arms out. And then as for the toes, flip these up. There's a little bit of creakiness here. I probably could fix that by going in and just, because everything's held together with screws. So if you're one of these people that gets one of these and you're like, it's a little too tight, you can get screws and maybe go through and sand it down a little bit. It'll probably work a little better that way. And then as for the arms, these are a little difficult for me to remember. How do I do this again? Oh yeah, flip it down. Flip this out. Just like that. Same thing here for the other one. And there we go. And he's huge. He really is like big. robot. It's kind of hard for me to fit him in this frame. He does have all the same articulation. Legs do separate, so, and he does have the ankle tilts as well. So you don't have to have him standing stagnant. Yeah, I mean he's got a lot of posability, which is nice. He does happen to have ratcheted joints where they actually count. These are not ratcheted, these are all nice, kind of a soft friction. So he does have decent motion. The head itself has got a huge G on the front of it, which I find this very charming. I'm sorry, I just find it funny. I think of this as Genrai now, not Optimus. But his head doesn't really have a ball joint, but I mean, the original was kind of like this too. This is kind of cool. Another thing you could do is you open up this chest piece here. And I can get one side and then the other, and then there you go. It's got his matrix. It's nice. Nice to have a little matrix in there. But, you know, he's not too bad. I like him a lot. He's very cool. He's enormous, if you hadn't noticed. Probably he's every bit as big as a G1 Metroplex, or maybe a little taller than that. If you guys happen to have one of those, to kind of give you a bit of a size comparison on him. His hands do have a opening and closing motion. It doesn't do the single finger, which is fine. And he can hold his gun, although his gun's very tight, but he can't get his gun in his hand. And you can either have him hold the axe if you want to, which I tend to just set the axe in his hand. You can slot it in if you wanted, kind of like that. Holds it pretty well. And same thing with the shield. The shield's got these two pegs on the sides. And pegs in to sit there. And there you go. You got Iron Commander, aka Oversized Siege Optimus Prime, in this robot mode. And I think it looks fantastic. If you guys out there can try to find these guys, I know they sometimes have these guys on AliExpress and some of those, like, not Sir Toys anymore, but I know there's several other knockoff places out there that tend to carry these. This is really, to me, a recommended buy. I've seen a lot of people ragging on these things. This is actually in really, really good shape. I have seen some people have issues with some of the QC, you know, with like the paint and such, but to be honest, it's really not that bad of a toy. And to me, if you're wanting a large Optimus Prime that you can just have stand on your desk, that you can pose, that you don't have to worry so much about, he's probably one of the best ones out there, honestly. He's very posable. He's a little smaller than MP10. I'd say, not MP10, but MP01 would come to about, I'd say about here on him, if you had one. But MP10 would come maybe about to here. So he is bigger than MP10, which is cool. But I don't know, if you guys have the larger, newer Optimus Prime that's a masterpiece and this really isn't your thing, that's cool. That's fine. But this I happen to really like. I like the fact that the entire waist area is actually painted. It's all articulated very well. I mean, like I said, he has soft ratchets here in his hips going forward and back. But I mean, he doesn't really have a whole lot that's really that much to complain about, honestly. He is lighter than your other Optimus Primes usually are, but that's okay. Because honestly, you don't need something that's a huge thing that's going to break your shelves. If you're wanting something like that, then you probably shouldn't be after knockoffs anyway. But this has been Plasticon, and this has been a review of Iron Commander Deformation. knock off Optimus Prime. And that's all I've got for now. This is Plasticon. This is me signing off. Peace out, y'all. See you around. Bye.